This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
White trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Cat drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey, everybody. Welcome to
Bwah.
King of the Hill podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
Rusty, Season 4, Episode 17, Bill of Sales.
Bill of Sales. Yeah, this is
a fun
one. What do they call it?
Multi-level marketing.
Yeah, multi-level marketing.
Mm-hmm.
MLM, right?
Used to just be a pyramid scheme, and then they rebranded as multi-level marketing.
Okay.
You know, did you ever have anybody that was involved in any of those in your family or friends?
Nah. My mom dealt with an Avon lady, but I don't think Avon was...
Avon is more of...
it's got to be similar to MLM, though, right? Don't they give
well,
you like a setup package, like, hey, give us $500 and we give you all this product to sell, X amount.
But the thing about Avon
whatever.
is you didn't have people working under you. They get less and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. You didn't have to recruit people constantly.
Oh, I got you.
Now,
So you weren't recruiting. They didn't do any kind of recruiting. You actually were a salesperson. You were like a more legit
You're just a
salesperson.
Yeah, you're an independent sales contractor is what they call you. Yeah.
Or kind of like
My
the
mother
old
did that. She would
Sears
get
catalog
boxes
guys.
and boxes of shit. Yeah.
The Sears Roebuck salesman guys. Isn't that what they used to do?
Oh,
Walk
sure.
around and give you
Oh,
catalogs?
yeah. That and the vacuum cleaners and the
vacuum
Fuller brush
cleaners
guys and all that stuff. Yeah, so, you know, the ones I think of are like Herbalife,
The knives?
yeah,
Cutco?
the Cutco knives.
That's the one that comes to my mind is Cutco.
Amway. You know, those are the big ones.
Yeah.
And I think
It's all went online now. They all have those
Yeah.
like, hey, set up your online store and sell our products.
the big one now is the essential oils. You know, that's an MLM now, where you can make more than you've ever made at selling essential oils.
Oh,
and
selling
getting
essential
people,
oils.
getting people cured.
I thought you were talking
whatever.
about the efficacy of essential oils.
Well, that's a different question. Yeah.
No, they actually do work, though. I'm sure
I've found that essential oils, the only thing they do for me is make me greasy.
give me a headache.
Yeah, they can.
Some of them do. Lavender, too much lavender will give me a headache.
See, I
like the subtle smell of lavender, but if it's pure lavender to
Yeah.
my brain, and I
like lavender.
It's too much.
It is very relaxing to me, very calming. I don't think it's really doing anything for me other than the fact that it's a good smell. And then I kind of like the pepperminty smell, you know,
mint,
sometimes.
like peppermint. I like the
that's-
spearmint.
That
you know?
that seems
really
like
spearmint.
more awake kind of smell, you know?
Okay.
That
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not buying any freaking essential oil, so I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'm trying not to either.
Yeah. But you know what? I was having trouble with like my back and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm not a big bath guy, but I bought like Epsom salts with the lavender stuff in it.
That shit works.
That was really good. Yeah,
Epsom salt really works.
Epsom salt is something.
I like to soak I used to run a lot, and I like to soak
Yeah.
my feet in Epsom salt after a hard run.
When I think about you running, I see Forrest Gump running.
Forrest
through
Gump,
the-
with the hair,
Yeah,
the beard, and everything looks
that's
like
right, yeah.
Forrest Gump out there.
Yeah.
I started running.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
didn't stop.
I'm gonna go ahead and knock out a little bit of trivia.
please do. Go for it.
At the beginning, so we have real quick couple pieces of pop culture trivia. Since in this episode, we do see Peggy's new computer, so this is where some continuity issues.
You know, I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah, so this is where the continuity issues of production, like what number they were produced.
Mm-hmm.
So this one was probably produced, you know, because we didn't get you didn't see her computer. Remember, there was an episode right after the Hillenium episode, the episode 11, where you see her still old computer. So her
I remember those
her,
being out of order.
her
Yeah.
whatever type deal. So this is going back to that continuity thing. This production, this episode.
But this
how
is
it's
the new
produced.
computer you're saying.
This is the new computer that we
Okay,
see, which
okay.
is modeled after the Blueberry iMac G3.
Gotcha.
You were an educator,
Yeah.
so you saw a
Oh, I
lot
remember
of these
those.
G3s.
Oh my God, there
They
so
were
many.
in all the schools at the time.
And they all
I
thought
remember
they were cool because they came in different colors.
that was it. The
pastel
library was
colors,
all
yeah.
different colors.
Yeah,
There was
sure.
like a different
Sure.
station, a different color, and whenever you checked out the computer, you're like, "Oh, I've got the magenta computer. Or I've got the," and they never had purple or pink or anything
No.
like that. It was the
No.
indigo computer
Yeah.
or the
Yeah, it's always
cerulean
Fancy
computer.
computers. Yeah, fancy colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the 64 crayon box, all the
Yeah,
colors.
they pick all the odd colors, the odd shaded colors. Okay, so there's that the Blueberry iMac G3, and then there's a character in this episode called Lainey Grambler.
Mm-hmm.
She is voiced by actor comedian, I guess you could say as well, Teri Garr.
Oh yeah, Teri
Young
Garr.
Frankenstein, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Teri Garr.
Mr.
Roll,
Mom.
roll in the hay. That's what she says in the Young Frankenstein. She's
She
fantastic.
actually
she
Her
comes up
career-
and knocks on the
Yeah.
door with the thing, and he goes, "Oh, great knockers." She turns around and goes, "Oh, thank you."
one of the funnier things I think is kind of funny about her career is that I don't know how many people can say this, but she was in 6 Elvis movies as one of the dancers, like in the singing scenes.
I kind of remember something about that, but I didn't realize it was 6 of them. That's crazy.
6 of them. Well, you got to remember there was a
there was a ton of Elvis
it
movies.
was
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the same movie with different names and
Oh, yeah.
different women. but
I'm
it's the
in
same
Hawaii.
movie. Yeah,
I'm in Utah.
I'm in
Whatever.
Utah.
Elvis and the Mormons. Yeah, there were a lot of Elvis movies. All right, is that what you got? Those two
yeah.
things?
I
Fantastic.
think that's it. I think we
Teri
covered it all.
Garr.
Oh, and this is a Paul Lieberstein written episode.
All right,
so
this
we got
is
a Toby
episode. Yeah.
We got a Toby from the Office episode.
All right, so we start this sucker with no bell, no yell.
No bell, no yell.
We're getting close though.
Yeah,
because
we're getting
at
close to where
17.
we're getting close to where they're more regular. Because
Yep.
after this, they become kind of like a regular thing, right? Yeah.
So we start at the Hill House at night. Hank is checking on Peggy at night. Hank's kind of ambling down the hall in his boxers and his white shirt. You can tell it's late. He turns into Peggy's office, and I love the fact that she's got just Peggy's from the Sugarfoot restaurant. She's got the neon hanging up in her dumb little office. He says, I'm getting a lot of interference on the bedroom TV. What do you say you unplug your Peggy's, put down the classifieds, and come on to bed? She goes, and I just love the Peggy's hanging up there because that was the only difference she made with Sugarfoot. So she just put Peggy's.
She just
on
literally just
top
put the
of it.
name Peggy's. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what that cost her. It had to be a pretty penny. She goes, as a former restaurant manager, I am accustomed to setting my own hours, and unfortunately, these are the hours I have set. He goes, I know you miss running that restaurant. She goes, oh, it's not the restaurant I miss. It's the people, Hank, managing people, telling them what to do, and then watching them as they do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of managers that's a popular management style.
She's
for sure.
so shitty. Well, maybe you could ask the school to let you substitute teach the first grade again. Those kids usually do what you tell them, which I think that's a great
Okay,
line.
so is this what we're? I guess this right here is even more telling about Peggy.
Sure.
So she's saying pretty much in what she said there is the only reason why I like doing the job that I do as a substitute
That's
teacher
right, 'cause she
is
can
because
boss
I get
people
to
around.
boss people around
That's
and then
it.
watch them do
And
what
it's
I
even
tell
worse.
them.
She gets to boss kids around. Yeah.
Oh, that's so shit. Yeah, there you go, guys. Shitty Peggy once again.
Anyway, he says, yeah, they usually tell them what they usually do what you tell them. She says, that's not enough anymore. I am a natural born leader, and she starts reading from the paper, who can build businesses from zero to infinity, must be highly motivated, self-starter with own car. My God, Hank, that's me. She starts dialing the cordless phone, and it's funny because she picks up the phone, that has like the big extension on top of it thing that you pull out. He goes, Peggy, it's almost midnight. You'll wake them up. She goes, oh, no, I am going to shake them up. Okay. All right, so the next day, Peggy goes up to a garage door, and when I say a garage door, I mean the one-piece, 2-car garage door that lifts from the bottom straight up.
Yeah.
Right? Like old-timey garage door. And she knocks on it.
Yeah, which they're different now, right? Aren't they like now they're paneled? It's
right.
like
So
one,
the panels
two,
will come up
three,
and go. Yeah.
The panels kind of at their fold point or whatever, they kind of fold up into it.
Yeah.
Or roll up, not fold.
On the outside of the garage door, there's two signs. One says MetaLife International, and the other says Laney Grambler, Teri Garr, Regional Sales Associate. And so she's knocking on the garage door, and from inside you hear, "Who is it?" And she goes, "It is Peggy Hill." I love how she's just
forceful with it.
Yeah,
super forceful.
So the garage door raises, and Peggy goes in, and Laney Grambler starts showing her some. They're like pamphlet magazines, right? Like little short magazines about the product and stuff.
Yeah.
And the one she's showing her currently has people on a sailboat, which has nothing to do with these products.
Nothing to do with any of the products at all.
Usually with these MLMs, they're selling a lifestyle. They're not selling a product, right? And
that's
so
it.
that's because she says something about that here in just a second. She goes, well, that's the whole pitch right there. Any questions? Of course, Peggy has questions. Yes, MetaLife. What is that? She's just giving her an entire presentation.
The entire presentation.
And Laney says, products for living. Again, the most generic thing you could possibly say. Products for living.
Yeah,
that
it.
Covers
because it's a lot. Like again, it's a lifestyle that they're selling.
This reminds me of Amway.
Maybe a timeshare.
Yeah.
Maybe a Mustang.
Amway was
maybe a free trip to Cancun.
Do you ever go on any of those timeshare trips?
Nah, I've never done a timeshare trip.
So
I have been to a timeshare.
Yeah.
But
what
it was my friend's
about,
mom that had a timeshare, and we used to go to it every now and again. Silverleaf Resorts. So it was in a network of resorts.
Yeah.
So whichever one they felt like going to is the ones that we went to. So it was, I think there's like 4 of them in Texas or something like that.
That was great, you know?
Oh, it was awesome because I'm not the one paying for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not the one that is getting scammed. So at the end of the day, it was very enjoyable, had a lot of fun, played 4 hours of tennis with my buddy, and we had no clue what we were doing. We were just sitting there with tennis rackets, whacking the ball for 4 hours.
A lot of times that's more fun than actually playing a game.
Yeah, had a blast.
No, what I was talking about is like there used to be a lot of things where you come to our sales presentation and get a free night at blah, 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 or a big meal or whatever, or win a second place prize of steak knives or something, you know? I mean,
yeah.
I've got, my buddy Melvin gave me.
Oh, shout out to Melvin.
Yeah, shout out to Melvin. He gave me the thing from, the reason I say steak knives is he gave me the thing from the movie Glengarry Glen Ross about Always Be Closing.
Okay,
and he's got it on, he's got the actual thing, and I've got it in my office now that, you know, this, and this, Always Be Closing. And then he gave me a set of steak knives to go with it, like cheap steak knives.
Yeah,
that's actually nice.
That's good. That's a good joke.
So she goes, MetaLife, what is that? She goes, products for living. Okay, those are useful, and you sell them? She goes, yes, and I have a number of people who sell them for me. And this perks Peggy up because now she can tell people what to do, right?
Yep.
She goes, oh, so you would consider what you do sales or management? Laney says, a little bit of management, mostly sales, which that's absolutely true. And she goes, yes, management, thank you. And then you see Peggy look at Laney's pendant that she has on. She's got like a little brooch on, and it's got a diamond on each side and a silver bar in the middle.
Okay.
But before she sees that, she sees a regular pin on one side of Laney's shirt that just says, ask me about my other pin. And then she looks over and sees
got
the little one with the
pin,
diamonds. Yeah.
And that's really a great marketing tactic.
It is.
For somebody that's running, somebody that is the mastermind of an MLM, not to be confused with the Mexican Lives Movement. I could see where that would be a tactic to get somebody in. Like, oh, you could have one of these pins too. I'm the diamond seller. I sold X amount of Herbalife.
And that's what I was going to say. It's
not
always
Herbalife, right?
It's always gold, diamond, platinum, that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is MetaLife. That's what I mean. But Herbalife is.
I don't want to get sued though by Herbalife. So
come at us, Herbalife. And she goes, Laney, I hope you don't mind me asking, but that pin, it is spectacular. She goes, well, thank you. So were my February sales figures. I hit 10,000, which got me in the MetaLife Double Diamond Club. Peggy, if you want to be your own boss, come and work for me. So we're back in the Hill area, and we see Bill watering his bushes, and the UPS guy shows up, and he's going to deliver a package over to Peggy's house. And he goes, hey, mail guy, I'll take it. The guy says, sign here, please. And then he takes the package over to Hank's door, rings on the doorbell. Peggy answers, and he goes, you got a package, Peggy? And I signed for it. She goes, but But I was home.
Bill.
I was
Yeah,
home,
that's
Bill.
weird.
He goes, I know. I didn't want you to be bothered. But what are you doing now, Bill? You're just bothering her and
Yeah,
giving her
bothering
a package.
you bothering her worse than the UPS guy would have bothered
Right.
her.
He goes, so what are you doing? Fucking Bill. So what are you doing? She goes, put the package down. He goes, want to go for a walk? She goes, go back to your house, and just shuts the door in his
That's
face.
it.
All right, now we're at the kitchen table. You've got Hank and Bobby and Luann sitting around. She brings that box in. Of course, it's from MetaLife. She starts taking the stuff out of the box. She goes, okay, let's see. These are the MetaLife shakes, and here are the vitamins, and these are 40-40-20 Metabars. That is, percent. So I'm assuming it's 40% of this, 40% of that, and 20% of this.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And of course, she throws the bars on the table, and Bobby immediately grabs all the candy bars. Hank says, so you're going to sell these, are you? She says, well, these things sell themselves. $18, Bobby.
Golly. And that's per candy bar, per box.
Well, I
Because
thought
if that's per candy bar, we're talking about the 2000s. So
I thought that as
$18
well.
for a candy bar.
Yeah, I thought that as well, but I
Man.
bet it's because he just got the whole armful of them or whatever.
Yeah.
She says, $18, Bobby, which I will make very easy for the team of salespeople working beneath me. Hank says, well, sounds to me like you're one of those pyramid schemes. She goes, no, not at all. As the brochure describes it, it's not a pyramid, it's a triangle, and it is not a scheme, Hank. It's an opportunity.
So
Good
it's
question.
a triangular opportunity.
It's a triangular opportunity. That's right.
All right, there you go. I love that.
Bobby's eating that candy bar, and he says, this doesn't taste like raspberry truffle at all. Like he would know what raspberry truffle tastes like. Where's he eating truffles?
I don't know.
Yeah. He says it doesn't taste like raspberry truffle at all. And Peggy says, well,
Where do you get is the truffle raspberry? Is it grown like? And
I don't know.
does it come
don't
tasting like
think-
raspberries?
I think it's a combination of the
Or
two.
do you combine the raspberry
Yeah.
like maybe like a jam or maybe like a raspberry chutney
I don't know, but whatever they did, it
infused
doesn't.
with the truffle or something?
But whatever
I
they
don't
did,
know.
they didn't do it right because Bobby says it doesn't taste like raspberry truffle at all.
Yeah, it doesn't at all. Well, if anybody's gonna know what something tastes like, it's gonna be Mr.
it's
Gout.
true.
Yeah.
Well, he also loves his fruit pies, so
but
knows
he
a
likes
raspberry when
exotic
he gets
food
one.
too. We already know he likes exotic
Yeah.
food because anybody that dives into cold cuts, once you really dive into the world of cold cuts, you
Cold cut.
realize how many different cold cuts there's just it's never ending.
Hashtag
It's
cold
like
cut life.
cheese. It's like
Oh,
cheese.
cheese.
Once
Come
you
on,
dive
please.
into cheese and how many different types of cheese there are, again, it's never ending.
I do love some cheese.
I do too. I go to these cheese shops that I deliver to,
Really?
deliver wine to,
Yeah.
and
I
every
bet you do see a lot of that.
Oh, I do. I see a lot of cheese. The stores reek when you go in, but I always, hey, give me a sample
Yeah,
of
sure.
your favorite cheese.
Sure.
I always get
Yeah.
and I'll eat the stinky
What's
ones.
your favorite kind of cheese?
My favorite kind of cheese, I really like Swiss Gruyere. I really
Really?
like. They also have like right there on the Swiss Franc border. They have Gruyere that's done on both sides of the border. So you have a French Gruyere and then you have a Swiss Gruyere.
Oh, wow.
It's all kind of the same because it's like regionally, it's the
Sure.
Swiss, it's the
Sure.
French Swiss, so it's
Right.
the Franks, the Swiss Franks or whatever. So I don't know. I like Gruyere. I like that cheese a lot.
I think
It's good and creamy. I think
I think
a
my
lot of
favorite.
crystals in it and stuff.
Sure. I think my favorite cheese is just like a Colby Jack mix. And it's because that's what I grew up on. It was called Longhorn cheese at the time.
Longhorn cheese, yeah.
And we would just eat it by the chunk, like with an apple or with some crackers or whatever. And that's just, I don't know. I don't know that it's necessarily the most flavorful cheese in the world, but it just brings back memories.
Yeah, it's a memorable cheese. Did you know that cheddar started in a place called Cheddar, England?
Really? Yeah.
That's
I wondered about that.
That's
And-
the origin of cheddar is in Cheddar, England.
Did you know that the orange cheese slices are dyed orange, that they're really white? The white cheese slices you can get are the exact same thing as the individually
yellow cheese.
wrapped.
What it is
yellow cheese slices.
the reason why they had to start doing that is because Americans are so because the American pasteurized cheese,
Yeah.
it is orange and it's
okay.
it's got that yellowish tint to it. So that's why they started tinting cheddar that way. That way the cheddar people can actually sell cheddar to dumb
Yeah.
Americans.
I don't think Velveeta is naturally orange either.
I don't think Velveeta is naturally
It's
anything
not
natural.
naturally anything. There's a
think
great
it's
little
naturally
there's a
anything,
great little
really.
like 20-minute documentary on YouTube about Velveeta that I
Oh
really
yeah,
enjoy.
there's I think we've talked about
I
this
think
before.
we have. Yeah.
The cheese caves.
Yeah. Yeah,
talked
cheese
about
caves
cheese
are
caves.
fun. Yeah,
I
that's
went and
cool.
watched that documentary after you talked
Yeah.
to me about that. I went down that rabbit
It's
hole.
not bad.
And
It was pretty
it's
good.
really crazy that the only reason why, and we throw away so much milk every year
Oh,
and
sure.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's insane how these industries work because
Mm-hmm.
our milk is outrageous right now in
Yeah.
the store.
Yeah.
But these farmers will show on video dumping out. He's like, I dumped out 30,000 gallons
Yeah.
of milk this
Yeah.
month. And I'm
Yeah.
like, 30,000 gallons
it's
of
like
milk while the prices are so damn high.
Well, it's like the American government paying people not to grow things.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they
or
want to control the ins and outs.
Or paying them to destroy X amount of their crops.
Oh, yeah.
Or burn X amount of their fields
Yeah,
or
it's
something like
freaking
that.
crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So he says it doesn't taste like raspberry truffle at all. She goes, well, then, honey, you're eating it wrong. You're eating it wrong.
Yeah.
She goes, put it down. All right, come on. Let's get to it. Hank, you'll sell at work. You're assistant manager. I would think that they would have to buy from you. She sets a box down in front of Hank. She goes, and Luann, you will sell at college. Sets a box down in front of her.
Employing the whole household. This is like one
This
of
is
them.
it's always friends and family.
So aren't like school fundraisers kind of like MLMs?
Oh, well, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think so.
It's an MLM from the school district.
That's right.
It's not the teachers or even the administration inside of the school.
Yeah.
It's like the superintendent's MLM.
MLM
we need
Junior.
to raise money for
Yeah,
the schools.
That's right.
Sell pizza dough. Pizza dough will
Oh,
raise
my
the
God,
most
those
money.
Stupid Little Caesars kits.
Some of the things they
Ugh.
sell is ridiculous.
gross.
Yeah, like pizza dough. Imagine like your kid comes home from school and they're like, "I'm doing a fundraiser, pizza dough."
Mm-hmm. They used to sell
pizza
cookie
dough?
pizza dough.
Cookie dough, I can understand.
I don't know.
To
Man.
I can understand.
I want things that
cookie dough more than pizza dough.
I want things that are cooked.
I don't want to buy dough.
I want cooked.
Yeah, I do
things.
too. Yeah, I want to buy.
She goes.
prepackaged
She tells
cookies.
Luann to sell because you must have made a whole bunch of new friends that you can pressure. That's great. All right, and so we're now in the alley with all the guys. Dale clears his throat, and he goes, well, it's probably about time I apologize for my misguided Y2K hysteria.
Which
Who-
was now 7 episodes.
Yeah. He goes, who would have guessed the whole thing would go off without a hitch? Really brought the country together. Yep, best thing that ever could happen, Y2K. So he's so disappointed. All right, so Peggy comes around the corner with a wheelbarrow full of her Metalife crap. And she goes, hey, Dale, energy bar? He goes, I'm going the other way, thanks. And he opens a beer right in front of her and shows it to her. Boomhauer, how are you? Protein shake? He says, no way, man. I'm talking about all I need, dang old chopped beef and a blender, some eggs, man. I'm talking about Body by Boomhauer.
Body by boom.
She looks at Bill, and then she just kind of sighs. And then she turns again because Bill's so eager for her to talk to him.
Yeah.
She goes, Dale, protein shake? Bill comes over and goes, my tummy wouldn't mind a little something. Let me take a peek at your wares. She looks down. He looks down in the wagon, and he goes, what's that? Those are vitamins. What's that? Protein shake. What's that? That's also a protein shake. He goes, oh, all right, well, what can I get for a quarter? She says soda 20 years ago. So shitty. All right, so she rolls the wagon over to Khan's house.
Well, I don't know. I wonder how accurate that is. So if this is in the 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
a soda.
It'd be 1980. That's not accurate.
No, it'd be cheaper, wouldn't it?
No, I think it'd be more.
Like one can of soda would be.
Yeah,
more?
I think about the cheapest I remember was maybe a quarter, but 50 cents was usually.
Because I remember 4 for $1 sodas,
thing.
but it wasn't brand soda.
Yeah, that would be
was
the
like,
that would be like the HEB brand or the
Spice Woods.
yeah.
That was big when we were kids. Was
Fanta
when we were
was
teenagers? Was
Also, yeah, when
we
it
would
was
get the
knockoffs.
Spice Woods
Spice
because they were
Woods.
4 for $1.
Where was that at?
Convenience stores.
Huh.
We had a local,
Yeah.
in the neighborhood convenience store, not a gas station, it was just a store,
Yeah, sure.
And,
like a corner shop.
yeah, and it was the brand of soda was Spicewood, and they had all kinds of crazy flavors like peach and strawberry and stuff like that.
We've
so
got something like that in this building. It's just called Push Soda.
they're really pushing that one.
It
huh?
says Push, and like
Is it a fountain?
no, it's in a bottle, and it is like peach and guava. And
Are they selling
shit
a
like that.
lifestyle?
They're not selling a lifestyle. They are selling a highly carbonated and highly sugary soda.
Not very good though. Have you tried one?
I have not tried one. Zach, who I do another show with, has tried a
He's tried a couple of them.
and they proudly say on the label 340 calories. You're like, holy shit, just
Wow,
for a drink.
For one drink.
Wow.
340 calories, a lot of empty calories.
Well, it's 340 calories full of high fructose corn syrup, is basically what it is. And
it's not like charged with vitamins and all that on there?
No. It's just enjoy sugar, drink this.
Wow.
Your insides will turn pink.
Push.
Yeah, it's from your local pusher.
Yeah.
So he apologizes for Y2K. Bill comes over. She says she insults him about that. She rolls the wagon over to Khan's house. Bill follows. She rings the bell, looks back at Bill. Bill ducks behind a bush like you can't see Bill. Khan comes to the door. Oh, great. What you want? She says, hello, neighbor. How are you today? He says, hey, those metavitamins? You in that racket? Okay, I buy from you. She goes, you will? He goes, yeah. Wait here while I get my wallet. He closes the door. She just kind of stands there and hums and waits and waits and waits. And then from behind the door, she can just hear Khan laughing at her.
Yeah, he just goes and sits down.
It's so bad, yeah. And so she goes from door to door, and you just see this montage of doors shutting in her face, doors shutting in her face, doors shutting in her face. She's going down the street, and Bill sees that his house is next. So he goes rushing into his house. He changes his shirt to a clean wife beater.
Okay.
And
yeah, the one with all the lasagna on it.
That's right. Off, right. He sees her about to come up his thing. He's looking out the window. She locks eyes with him, and then just goes away. Like he's just like, screw that, it's Bill. Okay, so now we're back in Peggy's office with Hank and Luann, or her salespeople, now sitting there. And she goes, okay, my people, I call to order the very first meeting of my international sales force. International sales. Before we start, any fun sales stories? Anything at all? And they just sit there and stare at her. She goes, okay. Well, it's been a week, and at this time, I'd like to please see your order sheets. Hank says, oh, here you go, Peggy. She goes, one sale? He goes, I can't sell at the office. It's a propane place. I need to keep that pure. She says, Luann, I did not get your sheet. She goes, oh, I didn't do one. Oh, but I did give away all my samples. She goes, what samples? Those weren't samples? My God, what am I running? You think one sale between the three of us is going to keep this company going? I'm going to have to let one of you go. Luann, I'm sorry. And you see Luann, and she just smiles because she knows, oh, great, I'm out of this crap.
Yeah.
Hank says, Peggy, Luann's young. She got a great future ahead of her. Fire me. Send her a message. He's like, get me out of this.
Yeah, get me out of here.
She says, I will fire you if your sales figure don't improve. Now, put on your button, go to the airport, and move some product. You forget that he's her husband, and she's just like, get out there and do this thing. Get out there and do this thing.
Well, isn't that what they all do?
Oh, I guess, yeah. All right, so next we see Bill come up to Hank's door. She answers, and she says, what? He goes, you got another package. I signed for it. She goes, uh-huh. Where is it? He said, well, like I said, I signed for it, and I was carrying it up your path, and then I got to thinking. She goes, you ate my bars. He goes, no. I sold them on the base, all of them, even the raspberry truffles. I'm sorry. But then he hands her an envelope just full of cash, and she looks through it, and she goes, Bill, I'm going to use you. And Bill just, okay. I mean, he's giddy over the fact that she's going to use it.
Yeah, it says here, snickering naughtily.
That's right.
On
the
script.
Yeah. All right, and that is our first commercial break. We'll take that, and we will be right back. Well, let me tell you, Rusty, eating healthy used to be a struggle for me, but that was before I discovered the BlendJet 2 portable blender.
The BlendJet 2.
Now when fast food temptation strikes, I just blend up a delicious and nutritious protein shaker smoothie. They gave us a whole bunch of those little packages that came with the blender.
Yeah.
And there's some really good flavors in there. I mean, there's some like that matcha thing.
The green matcha?
Yeah, those are pretty damn good. BlendJet 2 is portable, so you can blend up smoothies at work, a protein shake at the gym, or even a margarita on the beach. It's small enough to fit in a cup holder, but powerful enough to blast through ingredients like ice and frozen fruit with ease. Maybe a human thumb. Don't put your thumb in it. BlendJet 2 is whisper quiet, so you can make your morning smoothie without waking up the whole house. Lasts for 15-plus blends and recharges quickly via USB-C, which has saved us all. There's nothing worse than turning that USB thing over and over and over and over, and then finally finding how it plugs in,
Oh, yeah, I don't like that
USB-C
either.
Yes,
USB-C saved us all.
Best of all, BlendJet 2 cleans itself. Just blend water with a drop of soap, and you're good to go. There's 30-plus colors and patterns to choose from. There's a BlendJet 2 to complement just about any style. We have a pink one. Lavender.
pink one.
I think ours is lavender. Yeah.
Mine is the Toy Story Aliens.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like the Pizza Planet one.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some really cool colors, but I
Yeah.
really like the patterns. I know one of the people here got one that looks like Woody the Sheriff.
Is there a code with them?
There is a code. What are you waiting for? Go to blendjet.com and grab yours today. Glab it today.
Glibbity glob.
And when you do glab it, make sure you use the promo code
BWAAA12.
That's to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. No other portable blender on the market comes close to the quality, power, and innovation of the BlendJet 2. They guarantee you'll love it or your money back. Blend anytime, anywhere with the BlendJet 2 portable blender. Go to blendjet.com and use the code
BWAAA12
to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. Shop today and get the best deal ever.
BlendJet 2, formerly known as BlendJet.
Hey, everyone. It's me, your puzzle-loving pal. Did you know I was a puzzle-loving pal?
I didn't know you were a puzzle-loving pal.
I got to tell you about my latest obsession. It's Wongo puzzles. These things are the real deal. They are high quality, handcrafted, and perfect for anyone who loves a good challenge but doesn't want to dedicate their entire kitchen table to puzzles for a week. Trust me, I have been there. I will tell you this, my parents, they're very old and decrepit, and they do puzzles all the damn time.
Yeah.
Like there's always a table that
What
has
else are
like
you
an
gonna do,
unfinished
right?
puzzle. Yeah, it's either that or I don't know.
Die.
Feel your bones. So these puzzles, these Wongo puzzles, they are 100% wooden. They'll last forever. Each piece is hand drawn. Just think about that for a second. Each piece is hand drawn, so no two pieces are the same, and you'll discover some fun whimsy pieces as you work through it.
Whimsy.
They come in a custom wooden box, which is perfect for storage and gifting. Before we started doing this, I didn't realize how many people I know already have these Wongo puzzles. I mean, they're apparently pretty.
You can't go wherever Juan go.
With stunning designs and unique shapes, Wongo puzzles are a cut above the rest. I loved doing the snow globe puzzle myself. It was great to pull out a puzzle and be done in a night and not have it on the table for a week. So what are you waiting for? Let's go to Wongo Puzzles, WONGO puzzles.com, and pick a puzzle today. And be sure to use the promo code
BWAAA
for 10% off your order. It's the most fun you'll have with a puzzle, guaranteed, or your money back. Go to WONGO puzzles.com and use your code
BWAAA
to get 10% off your order and get puzzling right now. And we are back. As you can see, Rusty has gone live on Instagram. Hello.
And there's Mike again. There we go.
Yeah. All right, so we now start at the Whataburger, and it's still
Whataburger.
It's still Whataburger. It's not.
It's still Whataburger.
Yeah, they haven't changed it yet.
I'm not really sure how that works for like licensing purposes.
I don't know
if they were able to get the licensing for that or what. But it's now owned by a company in Chicago.
Yeah,
It's no longer based in San Antonio.
I was going through Reddit yesterday, just kind of scrolling as we were watching college football and stuff.
Yeah,
and I never realized how many subreddits are people just griping about different fast food places.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's a Wendy's.
If there's something to gripe about, there's somebody on the internet.
There's a
doing
Wendy's
it.
thread where they just gripe about stuff that happens at Wendy's. There's a Whataburger thread where they gripe about not only the speed but what they get. There's a McDonald's one. Anyway, it's all just people bitching about the food and the service and things like that. But this one was like in Tennessee or something. My issue with Whataburger has always been that it takes forever to get anything there.
Yeah, they're usually I don't know. I guess make it until you order it. They're slow. Yeah,
they're just super slow. And this guy in Tennessee was like, "I've been in line for 40 minutes." So it's not just here; it's definitely all
everywhere.
the Whataburgers. Yeah. All right, so they're sitting
it's
there.
The business model.
Yes, slow and piss them off.
Leave
That's
you
their
waiting,
business model.
make you hungry.
Yeah. So they're sitting in a booth. Bill is eating a burger, and it's just dropping all over him, and Peggy's just like sitting there watching it. She goes, ugh. He goes, "Peggy, may I say what an honor it is?" And she goes, "Have you heard of a quota system?" He goes, "Now, I give you a certain number of sales, and you have to make them by the end of the month. So we'll say this first month's quota is, I don't know, $10,000. I mean, that's
That's
lot.
crazy.
That's a lot
that's
of
a
stuff.
lot of That's a lot of mid-level or multi-level marketing.
Well, it's got to be that much for anybody to make any money.
Yeah.
She puts the sheet on the table, and he goes, "What? Oh, no, that's a lot of sales, Peggy." She goes, "Well, I thought as much." He goes, "I'll do it. I can do it. She goes, all right, then this conversation is over. And she just leaves. I mean,
Yeah.
she just loves pushing people around.
That's it.
Now we're at Fort
I
Blanda.
think that's all it is. She just likes bossing
That's
people.
exactly right. We're at
She
Fort,
said it herself.
We're at Fort Blanda, the Army base. There's a general sitting in the chair getting a haircut from Bill, and he's flipping through these pamphlets from MetaLife. And I thought I'd give you the ones that are shown. There's MetaLife, the No Diet, and it's just got ice creams and pastries and stuff on the cover of it.
Yeah.
Then he looks at the next one. This is my favorite. It says MetaLife, lose 50 pounds in under an hour.
Oh, wow.
That's
a lot of weight.
I think you have to cut part of your body off to do that.
Yeah,
but it's got a little clock on a scale. Then there's one that says MetaLife, the exercise myth. And it's a person doing crunches with one of those Ghostbuster nose signs over it.
Yeah.
And then MetaLife Turbo, charge your burning fat engine. And it's just got a Ferrari on it. So he's flipping through these things as Bill's giving him a haircut. And he goes, Sergeant, where's that Tata issue of Sports Illustrated? He goes, I don't know, sir, but if I were you, I wouldn't be worried about a magazine. No, I'd worry about nothing. He goes, what? General, the following statement has not been evaluated by the FDA, but the MetaLife protein bar can regrow hair. He shows him the MetaLife bars.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and then again, we're getting kind of this montage of Bill going around the base. He's in a golf cart. He comes out to this big open area, and he's like, energy bar, get your protein shake. And then all these guys in ghillie suits get up off the ground. You thought they were bushes and stuff. They get up off the ground, and they start buying all this crap from Bill. You know, there you go. That's right. Yeah, it's chocolate, I think. And so that's the little montage of Bill selling all his stuff. Now we're back in Laney's garage / sales office, and it's her and Peggy, and she's like, $10,000 in his first month. That William Dovetree is quite a find. Peggy says, well, thank you. I molded him, motivated him. You know how it is.
That's terrible.
Laney,
taking all the credit for his success in sales.
Always, she's going to take the credit. She goes, Laney says, is he excited about the San Antonio conference? She goes, are you kidding? I am excited. Cannot wait to go. Laney says, oh, well, it's just for the salesman himself, Peggy, just the double diamond sellers and a guest. Your own numbers were quite small. She goes, well, Laney, my sales are low because of my management responsibilities, meeting with my supplier. And, well, she goes, I am your supplier, and meeting with me is like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
She goes, yeah, but it's a 15-minute drive, and I was 20 minutes late. So that takes up all her time. So now we see Peggy come over to Bill's house. She rings the doorbell. He answers in a very small wife beater and some striped boxers. The wife beater is so small that it doesn't even cover all of his belly. And I know you've seen those guys. My wife has an exceptional problem with that. Like when people wear those shirts and they just don't cover your entire belly.
Oh, yeah. Where it's like wearing a shirt that's too small for you or something.
She's always like, can't they feel the breeze? I mean, on just the body parts that are hanging out, just the pieces and things that aren't
I'm sure they
up.
can. That's probably why they do it. It's probably they like the breeze, maybe. I don't know. They might like the breeze.
They do like the breeze. He comes to the door and he goes, Peggy, if I knew you were coming, I would have put on pants. Can you give me a minute? She goes, Bill, it's okay. I got something important to tell you. Now, because you met your quota, and she looks down and Bill is just like picking at his belly button. She goes, ugh. You've won a trip to the MetaLife State Sales Conference in San Antonio. Did I mention that you get to bring a guest and business etiquette dictates that you invite me? He goes, in my wildest dreams, I never thought you'd want to go with me. Of course, I will take you. Yes, I'll even drive. She goes, well, yeah, I guess it doesn't make much sense to take separate cars. Next thing we see is Peggy packing a suitcase in her bedroom, and Hank's in there talking to her, and he says, San Antonio, huh? Well, when you get there safely, call me collect with the name Antonio, and I won't accept the charges. Oh, and if you're not safe, then, of course, use your own name. What a plan.
That's a great plan. Yeah.
Peggy says, oh, Hank, my very first business trip, I'm finally getting the recognition that I've always given myself. That's terrible. It's just shitty Peggy coming out.
Yeah.
I'm finally getting the recognition that I've always given myself.
She's like one of the shittiest human beings.
She is a bad person. Hank says, isn't this Bill's trip? Didn't he win it? Aren't you just his guest? She goes, Hank, you're fired. And she just leaves, and Hank smiles. He goes, finally, he got out of it. Now we're in the hotel in downtown San Antonio. It shows the skyline, the Space Needle there in San Antonio, and then it is a very fancy hotel because the lobby is gigantic.
Yep.
I don't know what hotel it's supposed to be, but
I don't know either. I can't think of any big
it's
set.
right-
The Pearl, that'd be the only
I
one I
don't
can
know,
think
maybe,
of.
but it's right there on the Riverwalk. And the lady, the hotel clerk says, "Okay, you'll be in 2111." And Bill says, "And where am I?" The clerk says, 2111. And Peggy's like, the same room? Bill goes, "I will have you know, young lady, you are talking to the sort of woman who would never, ever share a room with the sort of man who is talking to you now."
Yeah.
The clerk goes, "Look, this is San Antonio. You can't just waltz in here and expect there to be rooms."
Big town of San
Yeah, no
Antonio.
Peggy's like, wait a second. And you see him walking down the hall looking at the rooms and stuff. She goes, "Rio Grande suite, Sam Houston suite. Bill, these are all suites." She opens the door, and as she's opening the door, a guy comes out of the room across the hall. She goes, oh, don't look. Do not look. That is Marty Van Hall, regional sales coordinator for MetaLife. Oh, my God. We are right across the hall from freaking Marty. I mean,
I hate how she's
whatever.
like that. Yeah, she's always like that with people.
They walk in, and it's this gigantic suite. You know, you see both rooms. They're huge. And then there's a bottle of champagne sitting on the thing with a card. She picks up the card and goes, "Look at this, to our Double Diamond sales staff. Congratulations, Mike Desmond, CEO, MetaLife International." Oh, my God. And then she opens up the curtains to see the San Antonio skyline. She goes, "San Antonio, Bill. She is all ours." Then she pops champagne and pours it in 2 glasses. Bill says, "Peg, I think I'll just grab a newspaper and find a chair by the pool to sleep in." God, Bill.
That's crazy.
A chair by the pool to sleep in.
That's great, though, that he would do that.
Oh, sure.
He's such
sure.
a good guy.
Peggy
'Cause
goes,
nobody wants to share a room with him.
No, he has a stink. Peggy goes, "Oh, nonsense, Bill. You will stay here and sleep on the couch." He goes, "Oh, good. I think I'll have some of that champagne then, although technically it's just sparkling wine unless it comes from the Champagne region of France." Okay, Bill, picking out that knowledge there for a
Yeah.
second. All right, and now we see we're back in the Hill House. We're at the dinner table, and it's Hank and Bobby and Lou Ann because Peggy's in San Antonio, fabulous San Antonio. And he goes, "So, Lou Ann, you still going to community college?" She says, "Uh-huh." He goes, "Of course, I'm still in the propane business. That's where I was today." He goes, "Bobby?" Bobby goes, "Yeah." He goes, "What?" He said, "You said Bobby." "Oh, yep." Bobby's like, "Can I watch TV while I eat?" He goes, "Now, your mother forbids television during dinner. It's family conversation time." Who am I kidding? They all pick up their plates and they go
They
in the
just
living
go
room.
away,
Yeah. Now we're at the big gala at the fancy hotel, and you see a guy at the table. This is like one of those galas, like where you have a table of 8, and then beside that there's another table of 8. All around the room.
Yeah.
They're giving out awards, and
Do you
got,
think
like, a
Bill
host.
does this without Peggy, though? Do you think Bill would want to continue doing this without her?
No, I don't think so. I think this is all about Peggy. And Bill feeling wanted, I think, is a lot of it as well. Because Bill does not feel like
I
anybody
think it's
likes
funny
him.
that he's successful at it, though.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's never really brought up,
No,
how successful he is at it.
Yeah, it's
I
never brought
mean,
up.
where did that come from?
I don't know where it came
know?
from, but he's pretty good at it.
And why isn't he a salesman?
Because he's not generally a people person.
Yeah.
So him to be able to sell things is insane.
So
'Cause I'm not sure that I would buy anything from him if I saw him personally.
No, I don't think I would buy anything from Bill, but you never know. Maybe he's selling the fabulous new deodorant. So there's a guy at one of these tables with Peggy and the others, and he goes, "Hey, Dean, congratulations on your numbers. Look like someone's going to nationals." Peggy, of course, her ears perk
Nationals,
up. And
yeah.
she goes, "What are nationals?" And he says, "It's how they reward top performers, your manager's manager." She goes, "And where are the nationals held?" "Right here. San Antonio, this room. And those walls, they fold back."
Yeah.
Ooh,
Whatever
boy.
that means.
She goes, "No." He goes, "Yes." She says, "Now that Peggy Hill needs to see. Excuse me." And she gets up and goes to Bill and Bill's table where he's sitting with a bunch of
Yeah.
other people. And she goes, "Bill, we are going to nationals, and here's how. Now I'm going to employ a pie chart. You tell me if I lose you." And so she, on the table mat, she starts drawing this pie chart, which is not a pie chart at all. She just writes down 100% and circles it. And she goes, okay, right now you account for 100% of sales, okay? Now, what I need from you is more sales. Do you think you could sell 100% more? And she circles the 100% again. That's not a pie chart, Peggy.
That's not a pie chart at all.
That's just a circle.
That's
just
a circle on a piece of paper.
That's right. I love
Damn,
the fact,
Peggy.
I love the fact that he accounts for 100% of the sales.
That's it. That's him.
Fantastic. She goes, could you sell 100% more? He goes, well, if it's my quota, that's my new quota. She goes, Nationals. Let's go out and celebrate tonight. Someplace fancy where they'll lend you a jacket, huh? And he goes, I won't even have to worry about stains. And she walks over to Lainey at her table. She goes, Lainey, huh? Honey, put me down for another 1,000 bars. I'm going to Nationals. Lainey says, 1,000 bars? You know you have to sell them to get to Nationals or buy them yourself. We don't really care.
Yeah, not at all.
That's the MLM part coming out right there.
Yeah, we don't really care how you get it. Just sell them.
Peggy says, well then, go ahead and put me down for 2,000 of those bad boys. Peggy is always
overachieving, and she's not even the achiever here.
She's overconfident about everything.
But that's the thing is that she's overly confident about the sales, but it doesn't have anything to do with her directly at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lainey jumps up now, and she goes over to another table, and this is Marty's table. He's the CEO, remember. Marty, put me down for another 2,000 bars. I'm going to Nationals. Marty gets up and goes to another table. Mike, another 2,000 bars.
Which is hilarious.
So this is the MLM. You know,
it
just
shows
over
you
and
how
over and
it
over.
works.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's crazy that it works that way and it's successful for people.
It's cult-like behavior, honestly. I mean, most
it
of
is.
that stuff, it's in the
that's
same.
What somebody had said a while ago.
Yeah.
Actually, I can't remember who said it.
It's in the same general area.
Yeah.
Cults, MLMs, organized religion. Okay, so we're back at the Hill House on the couch, and all three of them are sitting there eating their dinner. You got to watch out with the union stuff.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
You and I will end up buried in the end zone over here.
We might get sued by the podcasting. Is there a podcasting union?
I think they're trying to do that. Yeah,
we should sign up.
There's a guy out there who calls himself a podcast lawyer, and I think he's shooting for something like that.
Oh well, he needs to hit us up. I got questions for a podcast.
Oh yeah, there is. Remember, I sent you that card.
Oh yeah.
Remember, I sent you a picture of that card.
I remember that.
Yeah. When I went to that conference, there was one of those was like, "You want to start a union?" So we're back at the Hill House. All three of them are sitting on the couch eating still. They're watching TV. And Hank says, Bobby, when is this movie over? I want to watch the news. Luann, of course, says, the news? You watched the news yesterday.
Yeah, you watched the news yesterday.
Bobby's like, come on now, people. If you don't like the show, there are other TVs. Luann gets up. She walks out. Hank and Bobby just kind of look at each other. Bobby gets up and walks out. So now it's just Hank sitting in front of the TV. All right, now we're on one of the bridges on the Riverwalk, which those are cool. I don't know if
little
anybody's
walking bridges in San Antonio.
if anybody's ever been to the Riverwalk, I'm not super crazy about the Riverwalk because I feel like it's super touristy, but the little bridges are kind of nice, and especially at night when they're all lit up and stuff, it's kind of cool.
It's kind of funny. We talked about that the other day, a different episode where we just recently talked about how they drain it and everything and dredge it out.
Yeah, that's where they find the corpses. And some of those corpses were used in Poltergeist.
Oh, I thought you said that's where they find them in Corpus. I was like, I thought that was a different.
I just happened to watch a thing last night. We were watching this show. What is it called? It's like Cursed Movies or something like that.
Yeah.
It was on Shudder. I think it's a couple years old. But basically, they go horror movie by horror movie, and they talk about the cursed things about those horror movies. Or not just horror movies, just about movies. So like The Crow, Wizard of Oz.
Are you talking about the weird stuff that happens during the
Twilight
filmings of the movies and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a good
There's a
little
lot
series.
of weird stuff in those movies.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz. Oof.
Oh, Wizard of Oz is spooky,
Yeah, that's spooky as hell when you watch it now. You know that movie is almost 100 years old? Is that not
That's
crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I was just thinking about that in some of the movies that some of the cartoons and stuff that I've been watching. I was sitting there watching something, and I was just thinking to myself, I had to like pause it. I was like, my great-grandpa, because I met my great-grandpa when I was a kid.
Sure.
I was like, he was born in 1903, so I'm just sitting there watching like these old cartoons thinking, my grandpa was like a teenager when this came out in the theaters for people to go watch.
Yeah.
So it was just, I don't know, it's kind of surreal.
It is weird when you stop and think about those kind of things. I mean, because, our parents and grandparents and stuff, they talk about how, they remember when TV came in and things like that, and now you're talking about a movie that is almost 100 years old that people still love and adore and talk about.
Well, that's what they say. Your generation, Gen Xers, y'all are the last generation to, and not the last generation, because the millennials is probably the last generation, but y'all are the last generation to interact with people that were born in the 1800s.
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah.
Because my dad had aunts who were born in the 1800s. He was born in 1960, but my dad was born to his dad was old when he had him.
Said that,
Yeah, so my dad had aunts who were born in like the 1880s.
Wow. That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so we're on one of those bridges over the Riverwalk at night. She goes, "Oh, Bill, will you look at it?" And she's looking at the moon. He goes, "Man, I've walked on that moon. I guess sometimes the impossible is possible." And he kind of puts his hand on Peggy's hand. And he goes, "Peggy?" She goes, "Yeah, just like some would say it's impossible to move 2,000 units, but I know you could do it." He goes, "Oh, I already sold half." I mean, this dude is...
He's a businessman. And see, this right here is insane because he's at the hotel with 1,000 other MLMers, if
and
that's
nobody
what we're calling
else,
them.
Nobody else
thought to talk to the hotel. He
Yeah.
could have talked to the hotel, got them stocked in that hotel. That hotel passed him off to a district manager, and then got him stocked in the hotel period for that area, the regional. And then, you know, it's an
He goes, I
escalation.
talked
really
the hotel into stocking the mini bars with him. She goes, "You did not." He goes,
crazy.
She goes, "Oh my God, we're going to nationals." "Yes." "Oh, come here." And she gives him her pin, the little double diamond pin.
Because it's
She
his
goes,
pin.
Yeah, she goes, "Yes, really." She goes, "This is the double diamond pin that you won. I think you deserve it even more than I do." "Well, yeah, no shit, Peggy. I mean, he did win it." He goes, No, I don't." She goes, "Why would you say that?" "Because, Bill, you are a kind, hardworking, superhuman people person who's taking us to nationals. Oh, Bill Dauterive, I love you." And she kisses him on the cheek. Bill recoils from this because it's all fun and this is the way I took it. It's all fun and games pursuing Peggy until it gets real.
Till it gets real.
Yeah.
And it got real.
He kind of screams a little bit and he goes, "What are you doing? Stop it. Leave me alone. Keep the jacket. Keep the pin. Keep the moon. I quit." And he throws the jacket in the river and then he turns around for a second and goes, "Oh, by the way, the room key's in the jacket." And then he runs off. It's really weird how it changed so quickly.
Yeah,
for
how
him.
he flipped like
And it never
that.
really gets addressed
No,
throughout
it
the
never
rest
really
of the show.
does. Yeah, it never really does get addressed.
But that is our second commercial break. We're going to go ahead and take
Second
that.
commercial break.
And we will be right back. Did you know that you could be putting oil and chemicals in your coffee?
No, I didn't know that.
I mean, I love coffee creamer, but I don't think I've ever turned a bottle around to actually see what's inside. You know, recently I did, and I found out many of my favorite creamers, like especially the one my wife used to use, they contain ingredients I would never intentionally add to my coffee cup, like canola oil,
Ooh,
dipotassium phosphate, whatever
sounds
that is,
terrible.
artificial flavors. I can't take artificial flavors a lot of the time.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
A lot
good
of
on
them
any
just taste-
flavoring.
they taste
I
gross.
don't like flavors in my coffee. I like the earth and flavor of coffee.
I mean, I love coffee. Don't get me wrong. I do love it. I just I don't like all that crap in my coffee, right?
Yeah, no, who does that?
So let me tell you about Laird Superfoods then. They have better ingredients, amazing taste, and functional benefits. Laird Superfood creamers are crafted from the highest quality, all-natural, real food ingredients. All Laird products are sustainably sourced and thoroughly tested to ensure that you're incorporating the cleanest, finest fuel into your routine. Now, they're all natural. They've got whole food ingredients. They contain naturally occurring MCTs from coconut oil, and everybody tells you coconut oil is good for you.
Mm-hmm.
There's no artificial flavors, no colors, no additives, no sugar from highly refined corn syrup. So that's a big deal right there. If you take one thing you do every day and make it better, Laird developed his creamer himself to stay powered for a day on the waves. He was a big wave surfer, Laird Hamilton was, and he needed a morning fuel that could allow him to spend the entire day chasing the ultimate wave. So he made this creamer, and it is it's crazy, crazy good. Laird sources high-quality plant-based ingredients globally and puts an emphasis on U.S. sources whenever possible. They aim to source responsibly and sustainably and believe that the foods you consume should be as good for the earth as they are for you. They have honest and transparent products and labels. If you try it, you won't go back. They have functional superfood creamers, instant lattes, and prebiotic greens. They have a variety of snacks and supplements full of wholesome plant-based ingredients to keep you charged for wherever life takes you. So to get a deal on Laird Superfoods, I need you to go to zen.ai
BWAAA King of the Hill. So that's zen.ai/BWAAA King of the Hill. And your offer code there is BWAAA. So Laird Superfoods makes a better creamer that keeps you powered all day, and it's better for you, the earth, and your coffee. What do you say, Rusty? You want to go get some coffee?
Coffee.
Hey, Rusty,
Yeah.
did you know that dehydration is the leading cause of daytime fatigue?
Oh, no.
I don't know about you, but like 2:30, 3 o'clock, I just hit a wall almost every day. I was shocked to learn that even mild dehydration can cause headaches, muscle weakness, brain fog, but luckily there's a cure.
Oh, there is?
Actually, I should have said there's a solution. It's called Cure. Cure Hydration. The Cure Hydration is an oral rehydration solution, or ORS, that contains the perfect balance of electrolytes. We know how important that is because plants crave it.
Super important.
And glucose to help your body absorb water and rehydrate quickly. The formula is made with all natural ingredients like coconut water, powder, and pink Himalayan salt. Whoopee. And it is free from artificial flavors, sweeteners, and preservatives. Cure Hydration is vegan, gluten-free, and non-GMO. That makes it a great option for anyone with dietary restrictions and preferences. The packets that they give you, they're convenient. They're easy to use. You just mix them with water and drink. They're perfect for on-the-go, travel, or anytime you need quick hydration. Hydration is more than just drinking water, Rusty. It is, that's what Lauren Picasso, a lifelong endurance athlete, discovered as she struggled to stay hydrated no matter how much water she drank. I've known people like that. My wife drinks so much water, it's crazy. Lauren found Cure, a science-backed electrolyte drink mix to make hydration easy for everyone. Cure believes that hydration should be simple and effective, but also clean and natural. That's why they only use the highest ingredients and quality plant-based stuff to avoid any artificial or harmful additives. They're committed to transparency and honesty. All of their ingredients are clearly listed on their website and packaging, and they're always happy to answer any questions or concerns. So are you ready to combat dehydration?
Absolutely.
You can try Cure today and feel the difference for yourself. Use your code
BWAAA. Sorry, I blanked.
You're good. For 20% off your order. Try Cure today and feel the difference for yourself. Use our special code
BWAAA
for 20% off your order. Your coupon will be activated at checkout. Try Cure Hydration. Stop drying out.
All right, and we are back.
I'm just getting hungry. I think.
I get that. Yeah, I brought these candy bars today that were made out of I don't know if you've seen them or not, that they're white chocolate Hershey bars that have Pop Rocks in them. They were made especially for the 4th of July.
Nah.
And they are awful. But I brought them in and gave them to people.
Eating that, I mean, what are we in right now?
It sounds rough. Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I bought them in June, so they've been sitting in my house for a while.
That's scary.
But the air conditioner's been on the whole time, so that's good.
Start a snack podcast.
Snack podcast about old snacks.
Yeah.
Okay, so
there's a guy on the internet that buys old unopened
I've seen that, like the
snacks.
MREs and stuff like that.
Not just MREs, because there is an MRE channel where a guy specifically only eats old military stuff.
Yeah.
But there's another channel where a guy buys stuff from the 90s and the 80s and the 70s, like pop culture, like, for instance, the colored Heinz ketchup, Crystal Pepsi soda.
Yeah.
So he gets these sealed food products.
But is he buying
over this
the
30 or 40
actual
years.
ones?
The actual food products sealed.
Oh, wow.
Like from from that era.
I
And
would
then
do
he
that.
opens them and eats them.
You know the new Coke? Have you heard about the new Coke?
You talking about the old New Coke?
Well,
like how they changed the formula
no,
back
no,
in the
no,
day,
no, no.
and then whenever or they had switched the formula on Coke, and then they
wanna
went back
get
to
me-
the old formula and called it the New Coke when they released it.
You want to get me rolling, you bring up new Coke. But no, I'm talking about they've started these special limited flavor things. Like they had the one that tasted like space.
I know what
you
you're
know?
talking about.
Then they had one that tasted like a sad circus or whatever that was.
You talking about the summer edition,
This-
the blue? It was like a blue
it could
can.
be. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
there was one like Marshmallow did, you know, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This one is called I think it's like Y3000. And they say it was made with AI.
How do you make soda
I don't know.
with
It's
AI?
the stupidest thing.
Do you type it? Okay.
I guess you put the recipe in and
Just
you say, now
say,
make it weird or whatever. I don't
Well,
know.
no, what you would do is what is the recipe to Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
and whatever it spits out, you just make.
You just make it.
I have used AI to make food.
Oh, have you?
I have used it to do recipes.
Ooh, that's kind of a.
It spits.
I like that niche.
It spits out legitimate
That's a really good idea.
food recipes. Yeah, I like it too. I really want to do something with that. Yeah, write that down. I've been wanting to do something with that for a while, but I've just been mulling on it. But and then not just AI to do food, but AI in general, just using AI as a tool or whatever. But no, I've used it to make. We've used it to make whole week menus for for like dinner.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because it'll crank out like a full, and then it'll give you a shopping list for your menu.
I'm telling you,
too.
man, if you do any of this kind of stuff or something where you constantly need like press releases and stuff written and things like that, paying the $20 a month for ChatGPT, it's worth it.
It helps with like the structure of it at least.
It is
like
so
you got to go in
crazy.
and put your own words in and
you
your
can
own
basically
names and
build
stuff
your
like
little
that.
universe.
But it gives you like it's just like using the old Word document templates back in the day.
Sure.
Except for some poor
Except it fills it all in.
intern had to type that up and
It's true.
Submit it to for the document to be added to the application. But that's what it feels like.
Well,
when
and the
you use
internet's
it
been
in a way.
around long enough now that all the information's out there, and so.
Yeah.
All right, so we are back. Peggy's knocking on Laney's garage. The door starts to open because she's out there. Laney. Excuse me. This door starts to open, and she just crawls under. She's so panicked. She's just so fast. She goes, cancel the order. Laney says, what? I can't cancel? She goes, I said cancel the order. My star salesman just quit on me. Well, so you can't return the product. That's just not how the system works. She goes, oh, come on. I think the triangle can handle it. She goes, it's not a triangle. It's a damn pyramid. Now, whatever it takes to get Dotree back in the fold, or Marty Van Holt is going to come down on us like the hammer of the gods. Like, holy shit, Marty Van Holt. Okay, now we're at Bill's house. He is asleep on the couch with a bag of chips on his belly, and his hand falls off the couch into the dip bowl, which then he just brings up and licks right off.
Yeah, nasty.
Now, the thing I want to be understood here is Peggy comes in, and she just comes in. She doesn't knock. She doesn't do anything. She just opens the door and
Doesn't
comes in.
knock or anything at all.
Hi, Bill. I brought your mail. Oh, look, a postcard from Peggy Hill. Having a great time in San Antonio. Glad you're here. And he's on the couch. He turns over and faces the couch so he doesn't have to look at her. And he goes, yeah, just put it in my waist corner on your way out. She goes, uh-oh, somebody lost weight, probably from all that hustling you were doing. Yeah, waist corner. We had kind of one of those. I think on Friday we're going to talk about bad roommates.
Yeah.
This was Mason's idea. I can remember living with some guys where we were all roommates, and I'll tell those stories on Friday. But
I managed to avoid that in life, honestly. I never had to deal with roommates in that sense.
Yeah.
Because I only ever rented a room from an individual once, and the room that I rented was from a 50-year-old guy that it was a friend. It was a friend's dad, and I didn't have to do no BS. He's a 50-year-old man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He had his routine.
Yeah.
As long as his routine wasn't affected, he didn't really care or bother nobody. So.
She goes, she's just trying to compliment Bill. She's trying to get him back on the team. She goes, oh, somebody lost weight, probably from all that hustling you were doing. He goes, yes, I'm a very attractive man. I get it. Now go. She goes, hold on, Bill. Do you like beer? And she pulls a beer out of her purse. Bill sits up, and he goes, can those big feet of yours do a 180?
That's
Dear
terrible.
Lord,
Golly.
Bill. Angry Peggy eyes are seen, and then she's just like, I need him. Well, Bill, this has been nice. She goes out the front door, and she goes, see, it's sales meeting tomorrow. He goes, that sounds exciting, but my Tuesday's ass-scratching day.
Whatever
whatever
that means.
He is pissed off.
I just don't get why he's so mad.
I don't either, really, and that never gets addressed in this. I just wonder if that part was kind of cut out.
Well, my speculation is he's mad at Peggy because he thinks Peggy's coming on to him.
Yeah.
And
How
how could you cheat on Hank Hill? Hank Hill's my friend.
Because Bill's...
That's just my guess. I don't think that...
Well, Bill's thing always involved Hank dying or leaving or whatever, and Bill being able to take over,
Can't take over while he's still there,
Yeah,
I think is what
I think that's exactly right.
What he's getting at there is the gist of it all.
So we're back in the Hill house. It's dinner table. It's kind of dusk outside. Everybody's there. Peggy goes, everything was going great, but then when I tried to motivate him, that's a management term, with a little praise, my term, he goes plum loco, Spanish term.
Plum loco.
I love how she explains all that.
Plum is not a Spanish
Motivate
term, though.
is a management term, by the way. Praise is Peggy's term. So Peggy's the only one that's ever said praise.
Only one.
And then plum loco. That's, of course, a Spanish term.
Yeah.
Hank says, well, you must have confused him. Being dumped on is all Bill knows. First there was that childhood of his, and then he joined the Army, and then he married that backbreaker Lenore. He gets up from the table and he goes, well, I'm going to go oil the bearings in your suitcase wheels. San Antonio dust contains a lot of silica.
And I have a quick little
Silica.
fun fact about silica, and why would Texas have silica so much
Silica
of
is
it?
fun.
Okay, so in Texas, there's a lot of glass making factories in Texas. There's a lot of
We got one shutting down
one
here.
shutting down here actually. Hydraulic fracking
Hmm.
is done a lot in Texas as
Yeah.
well. So they use a lot of silica in
That's where they
fracking.
dig down and then sideways.
Yeah, but silica is considered to be silica sand. It must contain at least 95% of silica.
Really?
Silicates in it.
Is that where we get
So,
silicone? Same thing? I'm assuming.
I would imagine so. I imagine
Yeah.
it's probably
I mean, it has to be,
something
right?
to do with
'Cause it's in the
silica or
word.
something like that. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, so Texas they use silica here.
I just love how he
for
brings
all
up.
kinds of industrial uses and stuff, but
I
most
just-
of it is used for foundries.
I
and
just
stuff
love
like
how
that.
he thinks that San Antonio dust is different from any other dust. So
Well, no, he's right. Dust can be different
I
depending
guess,
on where you
man.
go
Come
because
on.
it's the composition
Arlen
of the
and San
soil.
Antonio, though. Come
Yeah,
on.
no, it
Oh,
is.
okay.
It
All right.
is. Well, because you got to think of how vast Texas is. So even if he's
Yeah.
if he's in the area that we're in now, and then you drive to San Antonio, the dust is that different because you're
Yeah.
dropping in elevation by
I guess so.
by like almost 400 feet. Like
All
like
right,
200
all
feet.
right. Get off my nuts. He
I'm,
leaves.
I'm a geology nerd. Sorry.
He leaves to go oil the bearings in the suitcase wheels, and she goes. She's talking to Bobby. She goes, "Your father's right. Bill has had a hard life, and he likes it that way. He likes to be treated badly, and
He likes to be treated bad.
yeah.
God damn.
I love how they're digging into this,
That's
like how
terrible.
to get to Bill.
Such a shit.
Lou Ann, she's go, it's called psychology, Aunt Peggy. The disease of psychology. I'm taking it pass fail. Disease of psychology.
I'm taking it pass fail. Whatever the
pass,
what,
fail.
what the hell's that even mean?
She, Peggy goes, well, of course, he's crazy. Well, if insulting him is the only way to get Bill back to work selling, is that it's that nut job's lucky day. She goes, okay, let's see. I certainly can't attack his sales ability. Bobby's like, come on, there's plenty to work with. It's Bill Dotrieve. He's bald. He still has dandruff. I mean, what's that all about? And Lou Ann says, and don't forget his odor. And Bobby says he's afraid of thunder, which is just such a random thing for him to say. He's afraid of thunder. Peggy's like, okay, good, but slow down, slow down. She's like taking notes of all the shit
It's funny
she
to
can
hear about
use
a grown
against
man
Bill.
being afraid of thunder too.
Oh, I just love that one.
It's valid though.
Yeah. All right. Next, we see Bill out watering his front lawn again, and Peggy's like on the sidewalk, and she screams over to him, "Hey, Baldy, if you're looking for the hair on your head, why don't you check your shoulders and your back?" She's standing kind of in his yard reading, and she's reading from these 3x5 cards
yeah.
that she's come up with about shit to say for Bill. He goes, "Get off my lawn. I don't fertilize with poo." She goes, "Oh, yeah? Well, I wouldn't waste all that water on your lawn. You're going to need it to hose down yourself later because you stink." He goes, "Ha." He goes, "Uh-huh." She goes, "You heard me. Even in France, they would take notice of your bad odor."
Apologies to any French
It's a good joke,
that
though.
were offended.
Bill says, well, you were rude, but in the morning I'll be sober. She goes, "Shut up, you lonely divorcee, or you will be alone for the rest of your life." He goes, "Yeah, well, never mind." She goes, "You couldn't have gotten me to nationals anyway, lazy, good-for-nothing quitter." He goes, "Whoa, just wait, hold on. Just give me one more chance, please. I'll
That's
sell."
that reverse psychology. Yeah, there
God.
she goes. She got him.
He
Hook, line, and
goes,
sink.
he goes, I'll sell all your bars. I know I can. One chance." She goes, "Tomorrow morning, my garage, 7 a.m. He goes, "Well, that's a little early." She goes, "You just bought yourself 6:45, mister." He goes, "Well, I guess I could skip my shower." She goes, "7 it is then. Bye."
That's funny.
That's great. All right, next we see Bill with a buttload of boxes just tied to his top of his car. He comes back with no. This is again is one of those little montages. He comes back with no boxes on his car. He gives Peggy the money, and she points to more boxes. He starts doing that. And he's starting to load these boxes on his car, and he's just like, ugh, trying to get them over to his car. And he goes, "Don't you worry, Peggy. As soon as I load the last box of chromium biscuits." Chromium
What is
biscuits.
what is a chromium?
I don't
biscuit?
know what a chromium biscuit is.
Oh, hold on. We've got a. It is a play on word.
Chromium
Biscuits term for cookies. So these are chromium
Sure.
cookies. Chromium cookies are files created by the websites you visit. Chromium is an open
That
source
is not
software.
the same thing at all.
No, that's not what it's
No.
going to be.
No. Yeah, I don't know why you're eating cookies made of chromium. He goes, as soon as I load this box of chromium biscuits into my car, I'll start pounding the pavement. And he sits down on one of the boxes, and he starts taking off his shoe. She goes, hey, what are you doing? I did not say you could take a break, did I? He goes, oh, it's my toe. I think I have a blister. She says, well, if you do, it's not from carrying boxes for one day. It's from carrying that huge gut of yours around for 40 years. He goes, yeah, you're probably right. He takes off his shoe, and his damn foot is bleeding. Like it's bleeding through his sock. It's just soaked in blood. She looks at it and goes, oh. And he says, oh, and don't worry about your driveway.
This is what the chromium thing is. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, you're
but
good.
I
You're
wanted
good.
to get it leveled out.
Go
So
for it.
chromium is actually one of those supplements. So reduce diabetes risk, manage metabolic syndrome,
there you go.
polycystic ovary syndrome, all that. So it's one of those, hey, take this for chromium deficiency
Okay,
or whatever.
I'm going to give
So
everybody
I don't know how
a hot take
true
here.
it is or isn't.
right? Give everybody a hot take. Anytime somebody says, take this thing and it'll cure this, and this, that's snake oil. That shit
It does.
don't do nothing.
It does. Here we go, though. So I did look on WebMD just to go ahead and verify something. It does seem to enhance the effects of insulin and help lower glucose levels, but it also has risks. So it's
Well, sure it
controversial. So it's very, very controversial because there are studies that showed that it does help your body's response to insulin. It helps lower glucose,
Of course, those studies done by the Metalife company.
but it does have way more worse things.
Sure.
So even if those studies are true and accurate, it still has
it's still,
adverse side effects, and
You still don't
I
want
don't
to
know.
eat those cookies full
It's
of
like people who
chromium.
used to eat spoonfuls of mercury and shit
Oh,
like that. So I
God.
don't know.
Well, it was the colloided metal or whatever it is. The guys that were all the end of timers or whatever, they were taking that shit that Alex
it's
Jones
hard for me
was
to buy
pushing.
into some of those things.
And they
yeah.
would turn blue. These people would turn blue because they
start
were
turning
eating
blue because they're eating
Yeah.
lead or
It.
whatever.
It's freaking nuts, man. Anyway, he takes off his shoe and it's just soaked in blood. He gets up and he starts moving boxes again. He goes, "Oh, don't worry about your driveway. Ow, my tube sock is soaking up most of the blood." And then you see Peggy's face, and she finally is like, "Oh shit, what am I doing?" And he's panting and groaning and all that. She goes, Bill, you're fired. He goes, I can do it, Peggy. He's just real panicked now. He goes, I can sell. Ow. I can sell all these. Ow. We can go to nationals. Ow. Isn't that what you want? She says, not if it means taking advantage of a friend. He goes, no, not you. My friend? No. She goes, yes,
Not
Bill.
you.
She says, yes, Bill, I am your friend. Although I haven't always been a good one. Taking advantage of your low self-esteem to boost my own already healthy esteem. For that, I apologize. Even when she's apologizing to somebody, she's kind of shitty about it, you know?
Yeah, she is. She's no good.
He says, now, Peggy, you don't have to apologize to me. She goes, I'm not.
She's no good. She's no good.
The next words out of your mouth better be apology accepted. He says, apology accepted. So, friend, between you and me, I think this MetLife thing is a scam. she goes, yeah, but what a ride.
What a ride.
And that's it. There's your credits.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
a really, really good, quick episode. It was fun to watch. It's one of those slice of life things. Like I told you before we started this, I think the one thing it does accomplish is the transition from Peggy being a substitute teacher to doing all the other stuff she ends up doing. You know, the real estate and everything
Not
else.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And then after the credits, of course, you hear Hank say, "Of course, I'm still in the propane business."
Of course, I'm still in the propane.
And that's
business.
it.
And that's an episode.
So,
There you go,
guys, that was season 4, episode 17, Bill of Sales.
Yeah, if you want to tune in next time, we'll be live again on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm going to go live on Twitter for the Friday episodes, so we'll be on Instagram.
We're on Twitch. The thing is, you
we're on
can't hear
Twitch.
what we're saying.
Yeah, you won't be able to hear us. You could see us sitting here, but
Yeah, which is quite a sight.
the
let me
audio
tell you.
is
Quite a
audio,
sight.
audio is something different currently. So
Yeah. And then
and thank you to the audience here on Instagram that's been watching us this whole time. Chantel, she said, "Good episode."
oh,
guys."
nice job, Chantel. Thank you.
And thank you. And this is a newer fan that has reached out recently.
Chantel is?
Yeah, it's a newer
Yeah.
fan that's reached out recently on
nice.
social media. So
Hey,
appreciate it.
And that
Appreciate
brings
the
up
support.
the thank you very much for everybody who interacts with us and all of that. It makes us feel super special.
Yeah,
and
no, it's cool to.
we really appreciate it.
And again, this is not even we're not even into our second year
No.
yet. We're into our second year,
It's
but
been fun.
it's we haven't even hit year 2 fully yet. So
when I sit down to do these scripts and stuff, I always like, oh God, I got to do this. But then by the time I'm done with it, I'm like, oh, that's going to be a good show. You know? I mean, it always pays off, and I always enjoy doing it. Also, if you want to help support us and help us make this show, because these lights ain't cheap, you can go to patreon.com/BWAAAKOTH, and there's just a little $3 tier there. You can help us keep the lights on, help us stay in chromium cookies.
We're working on a special 150th episode, and I think that's where you will find that episode at, is going to be on Patreon.
Yeah.
And
we're going to start probably putting
and
the
it's
video
not
on
going to
there
be
too,
and it's not going to be it's not going to be like our normal content, like where we do the episode or our Friday. It's going to be a 150th like special episode. So be on the lookout for that. If you're interested in that, that'll be there on the Patreon whenever that time comes. Which we're getting really close. I think this is
a lot.
This has got to be 148 right here. I think.
So
this is episode 148. That
in
we're recording.
my new office here at Rogue Media Enterprises on the 21st floor of the Alico building, overseeing all of downtown Waco, I've started hanging like letters and stuff that we get from fans
sweet.
and things. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
it's cool.
I just think of those as so super special. Like when I used to teach, especially in art class, I would get like letters from kids at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And they would say, you made art so fun and all this kind of stuff. And those were always super special to me because nobody asked them to do it.
Nobody asked them to do it at all.
And it shows that you made an impact. And I think that's what we're doing with this. So anytime you guys want to write us or call us or whatever, man, we are.
Yeah, feel free.
We are down for that. We love interacting with you guys. Also, you can go to roguemedianetwork.com to check out all the other shows that we have here. And then you can also go to, what is it, bwaakoth.com? Yeah, and that'll take you to our page at Rogue Media, and we plan on populating that with a lot more stuff.
Yeah, we do. And if you're listening to this one, there's plenty more to listen to, too. So there's a 100 plus episodes. And Chantel here says she's almost caught up on all.
Oh, man, I am so sorry, but thank you.
So I don't know how many hours that is, but it's over 100 hours.
I would love for somebody to tell us if we've gotten better over this time. Like
that's what I want to know. Yeah, well, because I don't know. I've went back and listened to a couple of those old episodes, but again, I'm you are your worst critic.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So I think this one sounds like shit, and I think the one I did at the beginning of the year sounded like shit. So you know what I mean? Like I think that I'm struggling the whole way through, but I think people keep coming through and watching.
People keep coming through, and I really appreciate it.
And it grows, so
guys
y'all
are
are keeping us growing and stuff. That word of mouth is insane. How many people that this show has gotten to just by y'all telling your buddy about it and your buddy telling his buddy about it. And
your hairdresser tells.
Did I tell you about that? There was a delivery that I delivered.
Yes. You
whatever.
said it was a bar.
And the guy texted
was like,
me randomly. Yeah, he randomly texted me as I was leaving, which was weird.
That's freaking awesome.
I delivered to him, and he had my phone number because I had to call him when I got there.
Yeah, sure.
And as I was driving away, he texted me and said, "Oh, that's cool, man." So yeah, it's great. It's great interacting with people. So if you ever see a friend or know anybody like King of the Hill, just say, "Hey, check these guys out."
And that does it for us this time, and we will see you on Friday. We're going to talk about bad roommates.
Yeah, and then to answer your quick question, Chantel says, yes, we have gotten better.
Oh, thank you, Chantel.
Y'all have gotten
I really appreciate that.
We fell into a groove.
I like a good rut.
Yeah,
That's
I like a good rut. I don't know if it's a groove or a rut, but we're moving.
It's definitely a rut. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
Wimatanya.
Wimatanya, indeed. This has been a Rogue Media Network production.